2026 is all about digital-first, AI-ready businesses. In smart cities like Singapore, restaurants need to think differently from day one. Over to our research-powered agent at Hike My Brand, Heike, who will guide you through the first part of this series on concept and market fit.
Thank you, ma'am. I have researched how restaurant launches work in competitive cities. We are using Singapore as our case study. Imagine spending millions building your dream restaurant, only to realize, 6 months later, that customers never understood what your restaurant was supposed to be. The food wasn't the problem. The service wasn't the problem. The location wasn't even the problem. The concept was. When people say they want to open a restaurant, they usually start with the cuisine. They say they want to open an Italian restaurant, a cafe, or a premium dining space. But cuisine is not the same as concept. A concept is the complete idea behind the business. It defines who the restaurant is for, what kind of experience it offers, what price point it sits at, how it feels, how it sounds, and most importantly, why someone should choose it over every other option nearby. So before anything else, you need to define the business clearly. Is it casual or premium? Is it fast-moving or experience-led? Is it neighborhood-driven or destination-driven? Is it built for everyday dining or special occasions? That clarity is what gives a restaurant its identity. Market fit means the customer actually wants what you're building, not in theory, not because you personally like the idea, but because there is a real audience that understands it, values it, and is willing to pay for it. This is where many founders make an expensive mistake. They build the restaurant they would personally love, instead of building the restaurant the market immediately understands. And that creates problems. If the market is confused, the brand becomes harder to market. If the brand is unclear, the pricing becomes harder to justify. If the pricing feels uncertain, the customer hesitates. And if the customer hesitates, bookings begin to suffer. Concept and market fit are not creative luxuries. They are commercial foundations. Singapore is an excellent case study because the market is sophisticated, competitive, and highly aware of value. Customers here are surrounded by exceptional food, strong branding, and hundreds of dining choices. That means vague positioning simply doesn't work. You need to know exactly what kind of restaurant you are, who you are serving, and why your restaurant deserves attention. A premium concept must feel premium from the very beginning. A casual concept must feel clear, welcoming, and accessible. A cafe must feel intentional, not generic. A restaurant built around experience must communicate that experience consistently, at every touchpoint. In Singapore, the market notices inconsistency very quickly. That is why concept clarity matters so much. Before opening your restaurant, answer these 3 questions. Who is this restaurant for? What problem or desire does this restaurant solve? And why should someone choose this restaurant over 10 others nearby? If you cannot answer each of those questions in one clear sentence, your concept is still too weak. Many people think positioning is simply branding. It isn't. Positioning is the place your business occupies in the customer's mind. A premium restaurant should never look or sound like a budget restaurant. A neighborhood cafe should not communicate like a fine dining establishment. A modern Asian concept should never feel vague or like a copy of something else. Everything must align: the name, the menu, the visuals, the pricing, the language, the service style, and the atmosphere. When all of those elements align, the concept becomes believable. And believability is incredibly powerful because people do not simply buy food. They buy a story they can trust. If the concept is weak, every other part of the business becomes harder. You spend more money explaining your idea, you spend more effort defending your prices, you struggle to attract the right audience, and you risk creating a restaurant that looks beautiful, but never generates sustainable demand. But when the concept is strong, everything becomes easier. Marketing becomes clearer. Pricing becomes easier to justify. Design becomes more consistent. And the customer immediately feels that the business knows exactly what it is. So if you're thinking about opening a restaurant in 2026, start here. Don't start with the decor. Don't start with the logo. Don't start with the menu. Start with the concept. Then validate the market fit. And only then, build everything else around it. Before you invest in a lease, before you hire a chef, or before you spend money on interiors, there is one final exercise every restaurant founder should complete. Think of it as a concept validation checklist. If your restaurant cannot pass this exercise on paper, it will struggle much more in the real world. Start by describing your restaurant in one simple sentence. If someone asked you, "What kind of restaurant is this?" Could you answer clearly without using complicated words or long explanations? If not, your customers probably won't understand it either. Next, identify your ideal customer. Not everyone. One specific person. How old are they? What is their lifestyle? What do they value? Why would they leave their home? And choose your restaurant instead of ordering food online. The more specific your customer becomes, the clearer your business decisions become. Then ask yourself, what emotion do you want people to feel the moment they walk through your doors? Comfort, celebration, luxury, curiosity, community? Every successful restaurant is remembered more for how it makes people feel than for what it serves. Now look at your competitors. Not to copy them, but to understand them. Visit 5 restaurants serving a similar audience. Study their menus, observe their pricing, notice their interiors, read their online reviews, look for the complaints, not just the compliments. Those complaints often reveal opportunities that the market is still waiting for someone to solve. Then ask yourself one important question. If your restaurant disappeared tomorrow, what would customers actually miss? Would they miss your food, your atmosphere, your service? Or would another restaurant easily replace you? If the answer is that you could be replaced, your concept still needs work. Strong concepts are difficult to replace because they occupy a unique position in the customer's mind. Finally, test your idea before making expensive decisions. Share the concept with potential customers. Collect honest feedback, refine the idea, adjust the positioning, validate the demand. The most successful restaurant founders do not fall in love with their first idea. They fall in love with solving the customer's problem. Because a restaurant is not built for the owner. It is built for the people who choose to walk through its doors. Again. And again. If you get the concept right, marketing becomes easier. Pricing becomes stronger. Customer loyalty grows naturally. And every future business decision becomes much simpler.
Research in this first part is very important. In the next video, we move to startup cost and finance. Stay tuned and subscribe to follow the series.